Now on to our special focus tonight, with the Home Minister indicating that the Cabinet could approve a note on Telangana in 20 days. On the ground, the protests are getting shriller. Seema Andhra Congress leaders have come out openly to express solidarity with the protesters, while Telangana groups have begun counter-protests to preempt any rollback of the UPA's decision. The Hyderabad police, meanwhile, has imposed Section 144 within 2 kilometers of the Secretariat and the State Assembly as a precautionary measure.
14 ministers and 42 MLAs of the Congress from Seemandhra sat on a protest on Tuesday outside the Andhra Pradesh Assembly, expressing solidarity with protesters on the ground, demanding that the state be kept united.
These politicians are not able to go to the ground because there is anger that these politicians have actually let down the people of Seemandhra by allowing their party to make this announcement for the bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh.
The State Secretariat at Hyderabad has begun looking like a war zone. On one side are employees who want the state to remain united and demand that the UPA must roll back its decision. On the other side are employees who want a new state of Telangana. Placards like this one saying if you ask for rollback, we ask for go back are only adding to the tension. There is heavy police deployment and barricades have been set up to ensure things don't get out of hand. Both sides are raising slogans claiming their right over the capital city, Hyderabad.
Maximum revenue is coming from Hyderabad. We are not ready to lose Hyderabad. Hyderabad is our home.
They want to rule the Telangana people by getting possession over the Hyderabad. That is the major situation.
The people suffering the maximum are the people of Andhra Pradesh who are unable to get any of their works done through the government. The administration and the government has been paralyzed and has come to a standstill.
In Hyderabad with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Well, joining us on the program tonight, we have Union Minister Shashi Tharoor on the program with us this evening. Also with us, Dr. G. Vivekanand, member of the TRS, who left the Congress party as a result of this Telangana agitation, and he has supported the creation of Telangana very strongly. We have Mr. C. Ramachandraya, Minister in the Andhra Pradesh government, who has opposed the creation of Telangana very strongly, and our commentator tonight, Parakala Prabhakar, someone again who has argued very strongly against the creation of a new state. Mr. Tharoor, let me ask you first. This is a serious crisis, isn't it, for the Congress and the government, because it seems that you haven't been able to take your own people on board. We've been seeing protests not just in Parliament, but now you have in the State Assembly, you have ministers from the Seema Andhra region very agitated and now openly supporting the anti-Telangana protests on the ground. Has this been badly handled by the Congress?
Well, I'm sorry, to begin with, I'm here to discuss the Indo-Bangladesh boundary agreement, which is what NDTV asked me to do. I'm not here to talk about Telangana. So I'm afraid. All right, so I'll be happy to address that issue. On this particular question, all I have to say is there is a process that is ongoing which involves extensive consultations with all concerned, and I think we should wait for the outcome of this process. There is no question that there are still a number of steps that have to be taken before there is a definitive outcome. The party has passed a resolution in the Congress Working Committee. There is now a committee set up to listen to the point of view of the Seemandhra representatives, including from within our own party, and they will be all taken into account before a resolution is presented, I'm sure, in the appropriate legislative forums. So at this stage, we will really have to wait for that.
But there is no question of a U-turn, though, is it? Once the CWC has decided on this.
I don't think at this stage we are doing anything other than deciding what is the fairest and most effective way of implementing a decision that the party's highest organ has already taken.
Mr. Ramachandraya, let me ask you, as someone who has opposed the creation of Telangana, there's also a sense that maybe it's time for acceptance that this is a reality. It is very likely to happen now. A rollback by the UPA is highly unlikely, especially before elections are to take place. Why is it so difficult to accept this decision?
So the basic issue is whether a particular region in this federal country will be allowed to decide its own political status. The core issue is what is the yardstick, what is the basis for creating a separate state. I don't think creation of a new state will be a panacea for the ills of the state that is being experiencing. Now, what are the difficulties that are being faced? Is it the backwardness that is the criteria? Is it the sentiment that is the criteria? Is it what exactly the Congress party has taken into consideration to bifurcate the state?
But the decision has been taken,
And
sir.
it has,
But the point is,
decision has been taken. No, what I am trying to emphasize is, had they taken the opinions of the stakeholders and made an assessment about the contentious issues that will be followed and the ramifications that will be followed by the bifurcation, this type of mess should not have taken place.
but it
Now
seems...
the people of the Simandra, they are with the apprehension. Their water rights are being affected, their rights in Hyderabad are being affected, their revenue is being affected, their educational amenities.
But hasn't everybody been
affected.
involved in consultations for the longest time, Mr. Vivekanand? I mean, that's all we've been seeing actually. We've been seeing this decision actually being deferred and delayed all the time because there have been so many consultations. How much more?
Mr. Ramchandra is forgetting
No,
that when he
they
was
have
in the...
taken a decision
Mr.
to
Ramchandra,
bifurcate
let me
it.
answer now. You have finished your chance. Let me please reply to your question.
No, let me kindly.
No, no,
when they have taken a decision to bifurcate it, they should have taken the opinion of the other stakeholders. What will be the
Every
issues that are
stakeholder's
going to
opinion has
come up?
already been taken. Consultations have been going on for the last 4 years. In 2004, there was a tie-up with TRS party by the Congress. In the manifesto, it was mentioned that Telangana would be a reality. In 2009, on February 9th, the State Assembly passed a resolution saying that the concerns of the Simandra will be taken care of and Telangana will be formed.
No such resolution
And
has been
Mr.
passed,
Ramchandra,
Mr.
during
Vivekananda.
2009
resolution
elections,
has
being
been
a member
passed
of the
by the
Prajarajyam
Assembly
party,
to the effect that they are going to
did
create
confirm
Telangana.
that Telangana would be
They have
part
not
of the
passed such
Prajarajyam
resolution.
party's manifesto and they are in favor of forming a new state of Telangana. And today Mr. Ramchandra now comes out
No,
of
I
the
will
blue
tell
and
you
says
whatever it is,
that the stakeholders have not been
creation of a state
discussed, which
not
is
the
utterly
panacea
false.
After all the evil.
But Mr. Vivekanand, I think the point also is that there is also a strong sentiment in the Seema Andhra region against the division of the state.
If you
Today, the political leaders who are agitating against the division of Andhra are also doing it because there is a genuine feeling on the ground that this is not the right decision, at least in Seema Andhra.
Nidhi, I think you should go back. 1955, when the merger took place, Telangana people opposed the merger. The first SRC commission did mention that
But you have to, I'm saying you have to understand the reasons for their protests.
In 1955, the SRC mentioned that that Telangana and Vidarbha have to be separate states. 1969, there is an agitation. 2002, members of the Legislative Assembly from Telangana go to Delhi and say we want a separate state. 2004, all political parties agree for this. 2009, all party meeting agree that Telangana should be formed. December 9th, the Union Cabinet announces the formation of Telangana, and for the last 4 years, consultations have been taking place. All political parties have agreed that Telangana should be formed, and now Mr. Ramchandra comes out of the blue and says that all stakeholders have not been discussed, which is not true.